The U.S. Air Force flew its newest stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider, for the first time in early November. A few weeks later, and a Chinese scientist already claimed China's own stealth fighters can shoot down the B-21. So, should you believe the hype? Meh. The claim is coming from an associate professor at China's Northwestern Polytechnical University. He led a research team that used computer modeling to conduct a war game between a U.S. B-21 and an as-yet unrevealed Chinese stealth fighter jet with advanced capabilities. In the war game, China's super-secret stealth fighter supposedly has what's known as conformal skin, which allowed the plane to survey the battle space without radar and maintain radio silence. Now, under these conditions, the model showed the Chinese fighter jet could detect the B-21 and take it down with a hypersonic missile that used artificial intelligence to track its target. Even though their war game showed China may be able to down the B-21, the Chinese research team said the ensuing U.S. counterstrike and fight for air dominance would lead to a prolonged and complex battle that could take hours to settle. There's not a whole lot known about the B-21 Raider, other than it's the most advanced stealth bomber ever made. Unlike the previous stealth bombers, the Raider can carry its own air-to-air missiles and will fly in formation with AI-piloted craft. Its radar signature is also said to be similar to that of a mosquito, so right off the bat, we should take any claim that the Chinese can track the B-21, let alone intercept it, with a hefty helping of salt. That being said, the claim is not being made in a vacuum, and the Chinese are working non-stop to compete with and eventually surpass the U.S. military in every domain. For instance, we know the Chinese hold a commanding lead in hypersonic missile technology over the United States. China's stealth fighter program is also growing. China likely has more J-20s than the U.S. has F-22s, but the U.S. has far more F-35s than China has J-20s. Fighting China would mean using aircraft carriers, at least to start. The U.S. maintains 11 aircraft carriers across its fleet. The People's Liberation Army Navy currently keeps up with 2. But the PLAN is nearing completion of what will be its third and largest carrier, the Xian. Like the newest U.S. carriers, the Xian features an electromagnetic launch system, so larger aircraft with heavier payloads can take off from its deck. New imagery appears to show one of the carrier's 3 catapult launchers being tested at a shipyard near Shanghai. If China is testing the launch system, that means it's probably preparing its newest carrier for sea trials. Once a ship completes sea trials, it can be commissioned into service. Getting back to China's claim it can down a B-21. We know China is putting the resources in place to hypothetically be able to achieve its claim. However, the claim is based solely on a computer model, a model made by a team of scientists with questionable motivations while working with a Chinese university under sanction by the U.S. government for its close ties to the Chinese military.